IZ Corp Radio, 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 IZ Corp Radio. Seafood. Are you a fan of seafood? Catch, savor, and love your favorite seafood at Seafood. The best price for the best seafood. Call 305-804-7993 for the best price for the best seafood at Seafood. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Ebo Richards. We're listening to a segment of Smart Investor Society on IZ Corp Exchange Radio. Something's interesting is happening in the U.S. economy today. Does anybody know what it is? Oh, okay. So we're looking at we're just basically discussing. We were discussing tax reform over a late breakfast today, and raising rates came up. Now, what that means is what I gather from it. Again, my name is Mr. Ebo Richards, aka Investor One, and I have to tell you that it's $25,000 per year for a member of the Smart Investor Society. So when we're talking about raising rates in the U.S. Economy, in my opinion, and I don't want to be, quoting in a quote opinion unquote, is very crucial and vital to the strength and the survival of the U.S. economy. It doesn't just put things back in a normal perspective. It actually gets the economy jumping to where it's risk averse. So where now people understand, there's a penalty or there's a consequence for my reaction. It's just fair, and it helps the government. It helps the government go and create jobs, and what's mostly important, it helps the government expand the economy. So with what's going on Capitol Hill this week, now the first thing you're saying is, okay, great. The talk now is, well, will rates continue to be raised in a manner that they're going in and as they should be? Anything could happen. We don't know. There's an investigation here. There's an investigation here. It's an investigation there. It's like 30 investigations. It's like, what's going on here? So we might never know exactly which way. It's a lot of uncertainty. And the markets, which mind you, Smart Investor One will always remind you, if you don't learn anything at Smart Investor Society, you will learn that the economy and the stock markets, any economy and any stock markets in that specific area or region are different. So the U.S. economy is different from the U.S. stock market. The European stock market, the DAX and all those things, they're different from the economy. They're not the same. So if your economy is expanding and doing good, it doesn't necessarily mean that your market is going to follow it or mirror it or be parallel to it. So raising the rates is very important. Then with the thing is, okay, now if there's a big shakeup on Capitol Hill in the U.S. economy with their administration, what happens to tax reform? We were looking at a target of 2017, August, September. No later than the end of this year, we would see some form of tax reform going. Well, that's in jeopardy, and there's a lot of investors fleeing into safe havens. Not necessarily, but knee-jerk reaction. That's what it looks like. But either way, it's still an important thing to watch. The tax interest rate hikes continuing, and the QE leveling out, bottoming out of the economy as the interest rates come back in. So it's like that X curve. You're getting out, but you're putting in. Trying to get back to a normal, stable financial economic environment. What happens? Why is the tax reform so important? Well, first of all, it's on the to-do list. You have border adjustability. Many don't know what that is. That's like a matter of national security, and it's tariffs on goods. So I guess, many would argue, many economists would argue, so a dominant force just can't come into your economy with their products and just flood the market and start monopolizing the market, even if it's a necessity or if it's hot. If people are really into it. There's a way that the U.S. economy or an economy can come in and say, you know what, you're going to pay a little bit more, or we're going to handle your business like this. Many may deem that's not fair, but that's on the tax reform list. Another one is the corporate tax. You have fewer reductions and the overall broadening the tax base. So the tax base gets broader, which would of course entail more loopholes, many economists would argue. And of course the reduction of fewer reduction and fewer credits. But the base gets larger. And then there's the individual. You're almost looking at $250,000 itemized deductions just for married couples alone. So that's just a little example or a little preview of what's to come in the stock market. The reason why we had this discussion this morning is because contingency fears and anxiety and what's the thing we're looking for here? Uncertainty. So this is a Smart Investor Society and report, and we're just discussing uncertainty in the U.S. economy moving forward. Mind you, the U.S. economy is still recovering. And always the GDP and everything, the curves are on schedule, is still in a delicate recovery rehabilitation stage. It's good to be tested, but at the same time, when you throw uncertainty as a headwind, it's not really good for investments. My name is Mr. Ebo Richards. You have been listening to IZ Corp Exchange Radio, and this is a segment on uncertainty in the U.S. economy and the U.S. stock markets. My name is, again, Ebo Richards, Mr. Ebo Richards, a.k.a. Investor One. And you are listening to IZ Corp Exchange Radio, Smart Investor Society. Thank you, and have a great day.